to the Painter Bride Quarterly Slush Pile. We're so glad you found us today. What we're about to do is discuss some poems and have an open editorial meeting on air. You're going to listen in. You can look at the work on our website, pbqmag.org, if you'd like to follow along. And otherwise, just jump right in and join us. The us, we'll start with me just because I already have the mic. I'm Kathleen Volk-Miller. I'm here in the sound studio at Drexel University, and I am with
Addison Davis, a former Drexel student, currently working with Kathy on the PBQ.
Hells to the yeah, and thank goodness for that. Also in the studio is our intrepid sound engineer, Joe Zhang.
Bazinga.
Okay, so let's stay in the United States, I guess, and I'll bounce it right up to Jason Schneiderman.
Hello, greetings from Brooklyn. It's not a bathrobe episode because I have to run out to the dentist right after this. But I am in my lovely living room with my mid-century modern couches.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And now, out there, over 6,000 miles away, Samantha Neugebauer is listening in. She might be able to peep up and say hello every now and then.
She's like a ghost.
Hello. We don't know. You will be on the recording whether or not who you can hear and who you can't. But hi, glad that you're there.
I'm going to be quiet this time around, but I'm listening and I'm happy to be with everyone here today. Thank you.
Sure. Hey, Mare. Miss ya.
Hi.
Guess what I just did? I forgot that you're not 6,000 miles away. I just bounced it back to New York.
It's so funny. All right, dear slushies, I'm in what I like to call the transition, which is I'm getting ready to leave the U.S. again. So I sort of sit in New York near NYU for like a day or two, and then I get on a flight and go back to Abu Dhabi. So my transitional liminal space is currently at the Marlton Hotel, which is a delightful joint. So I've been
with a fireplace
in the lobby and delicious coffees and hot apple cider and kava. So I've been, dousing myself in champagne bubbles and visiting with friends and having meetings here at the Marlton. So I'm here in New York, ladies and gents, and thrilled to pieces to be able to join the podcast.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, I think with that, let's just jump right into this podcast. We have 3 poems today by Sarah Best, and I'm going to just ask for a volunteer for the very first one, Echo, which, just so we can already start with all the tangents, Echo happens to be the name of my cat.
I'll take Echo. Because I love Ovid. Echo. And this has an epigraph. Nothing remains except her bones and voice, Ovid. Echo. I've chosen quilted combat boots for the waiting room today. Camo pants and a soft palette of grays, an alert red t-shirt whose neckline gently scoops around the anniversary necklace. They've mailed a warning to remind me to stay uncomfortable. When I arrive, not to relieve myself because the discomfort creates clarity. They've whispered a warning into the phone's empty voicemail box about how we can't connect and how much this will cost me. Underwater, light bends coolly, conforms only to the curves of sea caves, can sometimes cause delays. I think of this as I lie receptive to transduction, to the waves they send through the skin to find the pain. They use echoes to unearth the incendiary or inflamed, to locate what's wasted and what remains.
Great reading.
Sorry for pronouncing necklace, but I don't know, the rhythm sort of seemed to defend it. I was being carried away on the powerful tide.
You know what I thought about immediately? Like, that must be like its etymology, right? Necklace. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I never realized that before.
Yeah. The ending is just fantastic. They use
Underwater.
echoes to unearth the incendiary or inflamed, to locate what's wasted and what remains.
Oh, it's so good. Dang, Sarah Best. Dang.
Can I just get rid of one logistical thing, like a real thing? In the second paragraph, is she saying that she has been told not to pee?
Basically,
Okay.
they've mailed a warning to remind me to stay uncomfortable when I arrive, not to relieve myself because the discomfort creates clarity.
Right, they can see things better if her bladder's full.
Full bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But full bladder, delightful as that sounds, it's far less poetic.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Although, you know what, though? I bet full bladder really looks nice on the page with the double L's.
Oh, goodness.
It's like cellar door.
Exactly like cellar door.
One of those things where you're like,
I like how much the Ovid really, really speaks to the piece and adds so much to it. It for me, adds a lot of richness.
Nothing remains except her bones and voice. So I on its own terms, I'm kind of super charmed, super taken with the way the myth is coming in as a structuring device for a visit to a sonogram, or, you know, whatever the hospital visit is, right? And as Jason points out, that ending is extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, guys? Like, I'm dumb, right? So I read Echo. I read that first line, and when I read "I've chosen quilted combat boots for the waiting room today," I don't think she's the patient. I think she's there to see somebody else's. No. And then I learned that she is the patient. But I'm saying that first stanza describing what she chose to wear, even the anniversary necklace, okay, guys, I'm projecting the fuck out of this. But it's a wife and her husband is having something done in that first stanza.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Because she's dressed for battle and the necklace, and the anniversary necklace. You know what I mean? She's wearing the anniversary necklace. Yeah.
Sure. It totally points in that direction.
Right.
And then the next stanza points in a different direction.
Right. And I really enjoyed the turn of that. That really resonated with me when it was her doing it, and she, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Just thought I'd mention that.
I did not get that at all, but I still liked that this person suited up for combat.
Hell yeah.
So that kind of did tell me that they were trying to take back whatever it is that's causing them to be there. Mm-hmm. And I like that in the character.
Mm-hmm. And I love that the sort of like the contradiction there. It's like combat boots, but they're quilted, camo pants, but they're soft.
Yeah.
Like that duality is really coming
sure. Even the red t-shirt, right?
T-shirt.
But it gently scoops around the anniversary necklace, right? It's also soft and beautiful, and
Is an anniversary necklace a thing? Like, is that I sort of got. I understand what alert red means, but like I sort of got a little caught on alert red and anniversary necklace. I was sort of like,
I don't know if it's a thing. It's just a necklace he bought her for one of their anniversaries, or whoever, partner. Yeah, some partner bought her for an anniversary. I think that you just name things that in your own head. Let me wear my Valentine earrings, and they're not hearts. Okay. They're just what he bought you for Valentine's Day, or she, right?
Yep. I believe you.
I think. I mean, I don't. An anniversary. Jared's might have us believe there is a thing called an anniversary necklace.
Anniversary necklace. No. Because I initially read it as something that, like as part of the hospital experience. The way that your hospital bracelet is not jewelry; it's an identification tag. I was sort of reading it as like, oh, this is some kind of like marker of the last time this was, the diagnosis or something to do with the hospital. I think that's why I was confused, because I was like, wait, what does this have to do with, like, it did, like, but it's not, everyone else has no problem with it. So I withdraw my confusion.
So I just want to notice though, like, there's something about that first stanza too. Like when I first read this, I was like, is this extraneous? Is she clearing her throat in order to start the poem with the second stanza? Like, do we need that first stanza? And hearing you talk about the different possible meanings makes me actually more charmed by it. Like there is a kind of like, it's like sort of like a vestibule moment, right? Like it's sort of letting you know where she is and why and what her orientation is to it.
Yeah.
But then it clicks into this, the sort of art of that sort of mythical moment, right? That sort of mythic moment of being explored, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that softness that you point out, works with all the water, and I think of this as I lie receptive to transduction, to the waves they send through the skin, right? There's
Well, I think that use of Ovid works so well as you kind of get closer in, because Echo, in the Metamorphosis, Echo is so tragic. Echo, like Narcissus, are both aware that they're in love with an impossibility and that it's going to kill them, and there's still no way out of it. Like, it's not as though Echo and Narcissus are somehow deluded into thinking. In the Metamorphosis, they're not deluded. They're just stuck. They just want something they can never have, and it's going to kill them.
Right.
And Echo repeats everything in these really beautiful ways. And so to kind of bring that magic or that kind of mythological tragedy to the MRI machine, or I know it's not an MRI, but it's something that Sonogram is just really gorgeous. That you don't have to kind of imbue it with a false mysticism, but you can kind of bring to it this earlier understanding that's tragic and that isn't deluded or isn't unaware, but kind of with both eyes open walks into whatever it is you have to face.
Mm-hmm. Well, team Slush Pile, we do have 2 more poems by Sarah Best. And I know we talk about reading them discreetly. The next one is called Narcissus. So what do you think? Are we ready to vote on this one?
Yeah.
Did you have something else to say, Addison? No. Okay, yeah, I think we're ready to vote. We're ready to vote here. You know what? Sam, the fly on the wall, we actually need you to vote because we are an even number. So if you can text to Joe, that would be terrific. You can comment in the Zoom room. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. And it is unanimous. Woo-hoo!
Woo! Go Sarah Best.
Go Sarah Best. Way to start it off. All right. Fabulosity. Echo. Thank you. And now, Narcissus. Who's doing it?
I volunteer Marion.
All right. Here we go. Ready? Narcissus. Leanness shrivels up her skin and all her lovely features melt. Ovid. Narcissus lingers, sighs. How soft you are, stroking. In this daily veneration, I enlist a stalwart humectant from the drugstore. The timing circumscribed, you must trap the shower droplets with your thighs and breasts and the small of your back before they evaporate, leave you desiccated. On face and neck and chest, applied with equal urgency, a French milk cream that doubles as an eye makeup remover. But today, I flee Narcissus to chase the line that springs between shampooing and conditioning, dispel the water freely as I scrawl my back scabs, a hoary crust of sea salt, burgeons like a thick second skin.
Thank you.
All right.
I picture the best shampoo commercial.
Oh my God.
All right. So Joe, yes, right? There's something so luxurious and sensuous and sensual and all the senses are sensed up pretty good there. In the first couple stanzas. And then I get a little confused on the turn, right? The second to last stanza. But today I flee Narcissus. Does I get a little baffled?
Wait, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I thought that merely meant I'm not going to be vain and be
Moisturized.
and moisturized today. Seriously, yeah, I'm not effing around. I'm just taking a shower. You know, like
just washing.
she's just washing up today.
She's warshing. Oh my God, I love the word warsh. That never gets old.
The Philadelphia and the Baltimore come together again.
They do.
Yeah.
You're right, hon.
Johan.
No.
So-
What? What are we talking about? No, I thought it was that she feels unable to pursue the beloved because her body is betraying her. That the fleeing Narcissus wasn't kind of like avoiding one's own vanity, but not pursuing others because of feeling unbeautiful.
Okay,
Wow.
so I guess it's like a yes, I'm with you on that one. But my brain is not accepting to chase the line that springs between shampooing and conditioning. Does that mean wrinkles? Dispel the water freely as I scrawl my back
I think she doesn't even bother conditioning. She just washed.
Right.
She shampooed without conditioning, without moisturizing, without, she just cleaned up and dispelled the water freely.
Got it.
Yeah. As I scrawl, now that she didn't do it though, her back scabs up. Oh, hoary crust of sea salt burgeons like a thick second skin. Because she didn't pay attention this time. Which could work with Jason's read that, she becomes ugly immediately.
Well, and it was also because your back is so hard to touch.
Right.
I could go on a tangent right now. I'm trying hard. I'll wait till we're done.
Go on the tangent.
Well, only that I was telling Marion about this. My dad is 83 and lovely and totally of sound mind, but not so stretchy of body. And so I had to buy him some, his Christmas gifts this year were a thing to help him put on his socks and a thing to help you moisturize every part of your body. You've all seen back scrubbers, right? A long-handled thing with a loofah on the end. They actually sell a thing that's the opposite of that. Instead of a loofah on the end, it's a disc with rolling balls, and you squirt the lotion right on this disc, and then rub it anywhere you need to. If you can't reach your feet, your back, wherever you need, and the rollers rub the lotion in, and it's actually quite clever. Who knew that they had a thing like that? Now you all do. Slushies, that gift is for you. Buy one for your dry parent. Today.
If your parents are desiccating, we have a solution.
By Menon.
Oh, Jason.
You gotta wash. You gotta wash and moisturize in the wintertime.
Jason made me do it. He made me go on the tangent.
I did. I insisted on it. But I think it works very well here.
What it?
Oh, the discussion of the moisturizing.
Okay.
Whatever's happening at the end, whether it's feeling unbeautiful and not pursuing Narcissus, or not feeling vain and not actually pursuing self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think both of those readings are really successful in the poem. But I think either reading works.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm happy that you got appliances for your dad to moisturize his extremities.
Yes.
Well, it's very important to moisturize.
It is. Got to moisturize.
Addison, do you want to weigh in?
I don't get the last two stanzas. I don't like chasing the line, and then the crust of sea salt are really, I don't know, my literal mind is not getting wrapped around them.
You don't think that because she chose to not moisturize, I'm just offering this up.
Please.
If we stay in the literal, she chooses to blow off being a narcissist and pampering herself, but immediately afterwards envisions scabs forming on her back.
Oh, I don't think they're imaginary. I think those are real.
Oh.
I mean, I think that this is the result of some kind of like chemotherapy or some sort of really agonizing medical treatment that's tearing her body up.
Wow.
That's leaving her skin scarred and torn.
Why do you think that?
Well, because her back is covered in scabs as I crawl my back scabs.
How do you know they're actual and not metaphorical scabs?
Oh, because I never read metaphorically. Everything's always literal unless there's another signal for me.
Well, but I thought you were reading the myth into this.
What is she scrawling then?
This
The
poem.
Narcissus doesn't have back scabs. I mean,
Right.
no, I don't see any reason to read that metaphorically.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, a hoary crust of sea salt is an image. I mean, that's metaphorical. I don't think that she's covered in sea salt. I think that's a metaphor that says the back scabs are like sea salt, and that's
They're like a thick
moisturizer.
second skin,
They're like a second skin.
but the sea salt is there.
They are a hoary crust of sea salt.
So, like, is she exfoliating?
No.
Also,
I think, I don't know.
Instead?
My read is metaphorical because as she's writing, her back is scabbing up. That just, I'm seeing it like in time-lapse photography.
as I scrawl. Okay, not as I scrawl my back scabs, but as I scrawl,
Right.
then my back scabs. Okay.
Yeah, it's happening too quickly for me. That's why it's metaphorical for me.
Okay.
You know? That's all. But I would dare say it works whether you're literal or metaphorical. I mean, a humectant is only anything that is meant to keep moisture in. And, you know, so that doesn't mean a medicine. From
Humectant.
a humectant.
I love the dictionary voice. Humectant.
Humectant.
That is not medicine.
No, but it can be a really if you're on a treatment that's drying out your skin, it can be important. And once you know, like once something's injured, it's harder to heal. Whereas if you can prevent the injury in the first place, then you know.
Prophylactics. That's why they're
yes,
called
I'm
prophylactics.
clearly dispensing excellent medical advice today.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's important to moisturize and exfoliate.
And prophylactic measures should be taken at all times, whenever possible.
Can we hear the dictionary voice say prophylactic?
Hoary.
Who you calling hoary?
It just means white.
Is that what it means, really?
Yeah, that's
I
all
had
it
to
means.
look it up, but yeah.
It just means white.
Man,
Yeah.
I really didn't know that. I always pictured like this scabby yuck when I hear.
Oh no, like hoarfrost. It just means
Yeah,
white.
it just means white. It's like
You know, like the back of a seashell, how it's like, you know, just the basic clamshell seashell that you find everywhere. That I would describe that as hoary, but I guess I've been wrong. That's
Well, the back is hoary,
why
the
I'm
inside
not
is
a
pink.
poet.
Grayish white,
Well,
grayer white hair, aged.
Well, yeah, like I pictured a texture thing as well as a color thing. But anywho.
So I'm going to jump in and say there's a way that the sort of my befuddlement and at the end in the last two stanzas gets made more secure, right, or is contained by the epigraph. So leanness shrivels up her skin and all her lovely features melt. So when she chooses not to pursue this narcissism, right, or the impulse for self-care, she desiccates, right? Like she shrivels up basically. So that's like, I get the kind of plot or the turn in that regard.
Yep.
But I really struggle with some of the ways that images are working. Like I'm just lost in it a little bit too long.
In a bad way.
Yeah, and not in a bad way, but just in a way that doesn't reward yet. Like it's close, but then I feel sort of stupid. You know, like I'm missing something.
Mm.
Like, I wasn't sure what the line is that comes between shampooing and conditioning.
I don't know.
I don't know, right? To chase the line that springs between.
Flee.
Yeah.
I just pictured her leaping out of the shower without conditioning. That's all. But
Well, I love that reading though. Like but I just don't know that that's.
for me, that was the only chase.
You read it,
That
right.
chase was physical, right? She just jumped out.
Right. But I do love that though, like the fleeing, the chasing, and it kind of points back to the Echo and Narcissus mythology, right? Like those verbs are great. I get a little tangled up and feel dumb.
Don't feel dumb ever.
Thank you, honey. I like positive affirmations. It's like exfoliate, moisturize, and affirm. That's ritual.
It's 2020. Motherfuckers.
Should we vote?
I think we should vote.
Because we do have one more.
We do.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. When we've lost Sam, Sam's not here to vote. You guys, it's a tie.
Love it. I love it.
Well, yeah, I don't know what happened to Sam. I think that we should have Sam be the tiebreaker.
It's my breaker. Okay.
Although that just doubted hers to Sarah, but I doubt Sarah will come after her either way. So, all right. So, how do you do that in baseball? What's a tie? Like you go, one is the first column's the wins. I need.
Oh, there are no ties in baseball? You picked the one sport.
You just keep playing innings, right?
Yeah, extra innings. I was going to say, what are you talking about, Kat?
There are no ties in baseball.
Except one All-Star game in history.
Wow. See, that's why I don't watch the baseball. Or you can tell that's evidence that I don't watch the baseball.
Sudden death.
Since we lost Sam, we now have Dictionary Voice joining us.
Sudden death in the context that we've been putting these poems sounds like...
That's rough.
Addison, we haven't heard enough of your voice, so I think you should read the next one. But Jason, what did I just interrupted you? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I thought I had a solution, but I don't have a solution.
A solution?
I was wrong.
To what problem?
To the tie.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong.
All right. Ratchet that back. How do you feel, Addison, about reading? You good for that?
Good for extended takes and long shots.
Woohoo!
Extended takes and long shots. Watching The Master Builder the other day, I was struck by the long stretches of total unconsciousness on the part of the main character, filled with long exposures of trees and light, scenes shot on a train distract from his Faustian struggles. On Wednesday night, I'm seeing you. I've got one foot here, and here's the other. It's too much to hope for pleasure. How will I meet you this time? The break fast here is generous for a hostel. The granola tastes like butter. Orange zest leaves a mark of hospitality on skin, along with warming cups of coffee served in mason jars. My copy of Truman Capote's Answered Prayers sits on a long banquet next to a Chinese checkers set and letterpressed shaker recipes, calling for bourbon whiskey and Campari. I'm still hoping to find a panacea in this narrow morning window. Last time I checked, your face wasn't less handsome, just less hospitable.
Nice.
Oh my God, I love the end of that poem.
Thank you.
And it's gorgeous.
I really love that. Thanks,
Last time I checked, your face wasn't less handsome, just less hospitable. Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Hey, what's The Master Builder? I guess is that a reality?
It's an Ibsen play.
It's a play?
It's an Ibsen play, yeah. I've never seen it. I actually don't know it. I often confuse the plot with any of the people.
I was under the same misimpression with Marion. I'm like, that must be one of those shows on that network that does those shows like that, like where they do build
HGTV.
things.
I thought it was fucking HGTV.
I was like, we might be watching it at my office on the TV in the background, but no.
Oh my God, I'm such an ignoramus. All right, wait, Jason, can you help me out there? What is the Ibsen play?
Well, I actually don't know the plot. I mean, I know that it's a generational conflict. It's Ibsen, you know.
Joe, can you give us a brief overview? He's looking at it.
Is he going to enact it? He's doing it. He's doing it.
Oh, you guys are missing this. He's all Faustian.
It makes so much more sense as an Ibsen play, though. I was like, what fucking reality TV show has long takes and it's shots?
Here, Halvard Solness rose to his high position as a master builder because of a fire that destroyed the ancestral estate of his wife's family. On the site, he built new homes that won him fame and assured success in his profession.
You're on the film, not the play.
Okay, so he rebuilds something, essentially. He rebuilds? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, and there's also a generational conflict where his son wants to be an architect as well, and Solness isn't supporting him, and he's trying to build a towering steeple, but he suffers from a fear of heights. And
okay.
So, but it's a film, though, right? Because
he dies at the end of he climbs the tower that he's afraid of building, and because he's afraid of heights, and he slips and dies at the opening of the tower.
Okay, Joe's got something to add here.
It was also
great.
a 2014 film directed by
perfect.
Jonathan Demme.
Oh, a Jonathan Demme film. Who's the main actor? I'm just curious now if it's 2014. Oh, he's got trailers up and everything.
A bunch of really good actors that I have no idea who they are.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Oh, all right, slushies. We will embed some links in the show notes to the Demme film, to the Ibsen play, right? Just for the glory of context. But I have to tell you, as a reader, I had no access to that until Jason said it was an Ibsen play, right? And so I wonder, is that vital information for this?
Well, okay, let me posit, though, that she probably is referring to the film because of extended takes and long shots. So the images I had was somebody building something, and then every now and then they would have shots of him staring pensively into the forest where he's building the thing, right? Which I don't know if that's that off the mark of this. It's about building something.
And there's description of it. I was struck by the long stretches of total unconsciousness on the part of the main character, long exposures of trees and light, scenes shot on a train. His Faustian struggles. We have a clear sense of what was important about the film.
Right. I see. But I took the Faustian struggles as more almost whimsical, funny when I was thinking of it as a TV show where they build tree houses.
Right. If it's a reality TV show,
right.
It's funny.
Right. But I appreciated it. I appreciated the humor of it. I think I even snorted. You might play that back, slushies. I think there's a small snort from KVM.
Thinking that it's a reality TV show adds this inappropriately layer of irony to a very, very, heartfelt poem here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops.
Okay, because what sticks for the speaker is the long stretches of total unconsciousness, and the trees and the these long shots and extended takes of pensiveness, right? That is what sticks with her. That's why she talks about it. I'm using the pronoun she, but only for the I, sorry. And it's all because she's thinking about meeting up with the you on Wednesday night. That's why she's so pensive herself, right?
Right. And then she herself is kind of displaced, right? She's not in her home. She's in a hostel, right? She's in a sort of in between place waiting, right? And describing the sort of the place where she's waiting. And then you get that, wonderful turn at the end of you're waiting for your beloved, knowing that there's a lack of compassion, lack of communion there, right? The very thing that you're craving and hoping for is also the thing that you might be dreading,
Yeah.
Right.
I really liked the way that the description in the film kind of leads into the sort of the languidness of travel.
Yes.
That, like there's this sort of like these long periods of time when you're not really anywhere and you're going from one place to another. And the hostel kind of matches that, long, the long scenes on the train, the distraction, so I sort of love all of these, kind of like details of the hostel itself, and kind of her contributions to it and the way she's kind of placing her things within this space. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's a lovely, the granola tastes like butter.
Oh my God.
The warming cups of coffee served in Nation. I mean, I love the details of the hostel, and they match so beautifully with the way the film is described, and then leading into the reason for being here, and that reason being so sad, and just sort of, melancholy. I thought was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm very reluctant to edit poems when they come to us, but I do wonder if an epigraph here might help to like contextualize the poem and deepen it for the reader fast. Like, what if it's extended takes and long shots, and then the epigraph would be something like, after Jonathan Demme or for Jonathan Demme.
And if it is for Jonathan Demme, then it should be a master builder and not the master builder.
The master builder. Because so his film is the adaptation of the play. I do actually think she's writing obviously about the film. So it wouldn't be an attribution to Ibsen. It would be the dedication to Demme.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hear you and I respect you, but I do want to say that I don't need it.
Okay.
Like that even as we discussed a few minutes ago, even when I thought it was a reality show about, I pictured somebody building like those log, like a special show, like the one where they do tree houses or something, and that the guy,
this old tree house,
this old tree house, and that the person there would be long shots of them, because sometimes those shows are really weird, so anyway, it still worked for me because of the building. But what I really wanted to say is everything that Jason said, I agree with so wholeheartedly. The traveling works so well in this scenario. I've got one foot here and here's the other. And then the hostel itself is so beautiful. Everything's just gorgeous. The granola, the orange zest, the coffee, that long banquette with the Chinese checkers, the letterpress shaker recipes. It's so beautiful. And she says, I'm still hoping to find a panacea. Mm-hmm. So she can appreciate all of this beauty, but it's still not enough to girden her loins, for meeting up with the EU. Love it.
Well, I have to tell you, and this is totally, totally, totally narcissistic. But what I love about this poem is the way it's like on the nose for my personal situation right now, which is I'm sitting in the Marlton Hotel. I had granola that tasted like butter this morning. Right? I've got one foot here and one foot in Abu Dhabi. Like there's something so accurate about that sense of dislocation and displacement and desire and in-betweenness. It's just perfect. So props to Sarah Best on naming that experience.
Yeah.
And granola.
Yeah. Are we ready to vote? Do we want to?
Yeah.
Jump in?
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Hold on.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, vote. And it's unanimous again. Woo! So what a day, Sarah Best. We got 2 wins and a tie, which you could never have in baseball. Oh.
Yay.
That's that thing they call extra innings.
Isn't soccer like the only sport where you can actually really tie?
You can tie in football, soccer.
You can? Don't you just keep going into overtime?
NHL took that away, but they used to have ties. Football rarely, but it seems less rarely every season.
I feel like ties just aren't like they're just less and less consistent with the way we think about life.
It's very un-American.
So Haley and I watched some rugby the other night and laughed and laughed and laughed. Can anybody tell me, are there any rules in rugby?
So
or do they just
rugby
they
actually
throw
has,
a football at the boys and then the boys just run around?
the origins of rugby are in the British public school system, which is what we would call private schools. And every school had their own rules. And rugby came out of like rugby. Like it's like a place name.
Oh.
Yeah, but every school had it's sort of the origin of our football, of our American football. But the rules are wildly inconsistent, or were for 100 years, wildly inconsistent.
We were watching some sort of international rugby championship game, and we believed that the only rule was you must have thighs of a wrestler. Other than that, they just, you guys, if you ever watch, for somebody who loves American football, that's what made it hysterical. That's the sport I do know. And, they pull the ball out from under the pile of guys and just start running again. That's when we were losing our minds. It looked like a comedy.
What really looks like a comedy is Gaelic football. I was watching that the other day.
What?
Gaelic football, there's dribbling and kicking it to yourself. You can throw it through the uprights or kick it into the net. There are two different ways to score, at least.
Gaelic football. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It looks like a combination of soccer, football, and basketball. Wow.
I'm going to look that shit up.
That's intense.
Marion, you're going to put a link to the Gaelic football in there, too.
Honestly.
Sarah Best, I hope you forgive us. This is just who we are. Forget about
no takesy backsies.
This is not just transparency of the editorial process. This is transparency of how all of our minds work.
Who we are, yeah. Just us.
I just love that, though, right? There are no rules.
So at AWP, can we watch? Can you bring footage of Gaelic football and British rugby, and we'll just go to the hotel and?
Are there edibles there?
Where is it being held this year?
I am not
What's Texas rules
for getting them to Texas.
No, definitely not.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. Texas only allowed CBD.
Edit this out.
Because Portland was...
Portland, it was legal. And Jason and I might have had a pretzel or two.
Yeah, I had a soda in Portland.
That's true, you did.
I was meeting up with a friend, and about 10 minutes into the meeting, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be standing up much longer.
Every day, all day. It was just melted. Yeah, melted Jason. I remember it well.
I have about a minute and a half of remaining vertical.
Addison's edit this out.
Well, just for the Texas authorities.
Right.
It was Portland. It was legal.
Right. True enough. And Texas only allowed CBD a minute ago. The more I thought about it, I just so they would not be having edibles there.
What's the point?
There will not be edibles there. So we will just have to have a shot of what do we have here? Bourbon and Campari. And then what?
Yes.
Then what? Those two things might actually be good together. That bitter, weird Campari,
a
shaker recipe.
You just came up with our new vanity project, which would be the PBQ drink book. What if we put a recipe book together of all the cocktails that are either in the poems we've published or that we've invented at AWP?
Yes, we would have a signature cocktail each year in our hotel room.
It's true.
For the private lounge, the VIP suite.
It's true. It is true.
All right, Addison's signaling that he's got to go, so say goodbye to Addison.
Have a good morning or after. Well, I guess everybody's on the East Coast. Have a good morning, everyone.
Everybody's on the East Coast right now. Yep. So, slushies, thank you. Let us know how we're doing. And keep reading. Woohoo! Thank you, Sarah Best.
Thank you, Sarah Best. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying?
no crying. There's no crying in baseball.